Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we are like full steam ahead, headed into the Memorial Day weekend. But our good friend Pete Wilson is here, and there's a lot of news to cover, Pete.
There certainly is. Going backwards, but certainly going forwards into this Memorial Day weekend. Just, from the news point of view, which of course that's my perspective, there is just so much going on. There's, a festival. There's 2 graduations. There's alumni activities.
Yes.
There are Memorial Day activities, of course, that happen in a lot of our local communities. And because it's kind of like the gateway to summer, you might say, there's a lot, and it's a 3-day weekend. There's a lot of different activities, special activities that get scheduled because of that situation.
It just goes on and on and on.
Right, and we try to figure out how to keep up with all of it and cover all of it. And I'll just say this: it's challenging. It's challenging, but it's also fun. It's all good stuff, but unfortunately, sometimes some bad stuff gets sprinkled in there as well.
It does, absolutely. And if you could just find a way to clone yourself and your staff, it would be a lot easier. But unfortunately, haven't figured that out.
No, we've not figured out how to do that. Now, the upside of it is that all this stuff that we know about at least is good stuff. And some of the stuff I'm going to talk about is good stuff. So, at least we're upbeat. We're tired, but it's upbeat.
Okay. All
right, well, let's talk about the first thing that is an upbeat. This was in our Wednesday paper, so of course it's posted on the website and everything. The Geiger Brothers Company here in Jackson, which is a construction contracting company.
Amazing folks.
There is their headquarters right here in Jackson. They're on 317 Ralph Street. Anyway, it was announced earlier in this week, and this news was released through Ohio Southeast Economic Development, because once again, this was a thing where Geiger Brothers is investing money and they're getting, assistance from economic development.
Absolutely.
But they are making a $500,000 investment to expand operations here in Jackson. Now, they do a lot of work, locally and in the area, but a lot of folks may not realize they do some really big jobs, not so close. It is, a really multi-state company that way as far as where they go and their expertise is concerned.
Yep.
But with this $500,000 expansion, they're going to create 20 new high-wage jobs.
Yes.
So don't know what the timetable is, but it's happening. And so this was something that came out this week, and I'll read you a quote from the president and chief financial officer of Geiger Brothers, and that is Eric Massey. He says, "We are thrilled to continue investing in the community that has invested so much in us. This expansion project will not only create new jobs, but also help us open up new efficiencies and compete for larger, more complex projects in the region. Our economic development partners in the local, regional, and state levels have been a tremendous help bringing this project to life, and we couldn't be more appreciative of their support." Geiger Brothers, now this is from the news story. Geiger Brothers has headquarters in Jackson. The central location here in Jackson serves as the cornerstone of the company's operations and oversees 2 additional facilities, one in Ohio, one in Tennessee. A lot of people
Yes.
may not have known that. I didn't know that. But this strategic placement underscores Geiger Brothers' commitment to the region's growth and prosperity. So they got an $80,000 Jobs Ohio grant for building improvements in machinery, and the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership provided further backing with a $225,000 low-interest loan through a CDBG program.
That's
Plus,
awesome.
with a $500,000 expansion, it sounds like Geiger Brothers investing
Obviously,
directly some of its
right.
own money as well. So it's an onward and upward situation. Don't know how many jobs they have altogether at Geiger Brothers, but they're good jobs, and they're going to have some more.
Yes.
So congratulations to
Wonderful
them.
company.
Right, exactly. So we want to mention that the Oak Hill Festival of Flags, of course, is happening this weekend, and I know that we had some guests in yesterday.
We did, yes.
So I'm going to focus a little bit more on some specifics, but the Festival of Flags, always on Memorial Day weekend, 31st. So it's been together for a while. There are the queens for the Oak Hill Festival of Flags. I believe they must have been here yesterday, or some of them.
Yes, they were here yesterday. Well, 3 of the 4, yes.
Right, and let's look at the picture, and we'll tell you who they are since we have the picture up. In the front is the little queen, Little Miss, they call her, Hayden Ziner. Then behind her, on the left, a teen miss, Emma Figgins, and on the right, Miss Festival of Flags, Bailey Antonera, and in the back is Junior Miss Trinity Fulkerson. And so congratulations to those ladies. They are reigning. They have been reigning for the last year, and they will reign through most of this festival. I believe the new royalty will be crowned on Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday. They'll do a program, pageant, I guess, on Saturday.
Yes.
And then they will name the new royalty, announced and crowned on Sunday afternoon after the grand parade. So it all starts, on Friday with opening ceremonies, and we want to, of course, mention, and this is always a big headline story that goes with the festival, that is the Grand Marshal.
Yes.
And I am so glad that they made this choice, because anytime that you've been in business for 100 years, that deserves some attention. And in this case, it's the Cedar Heights Clay Company.
Yes.
And they will be the Grand Marshal as a company. And here are 2 of the principals of the Cedar Heights Clay Company. There on the left is Angie Simpson Smith, and on the right is Linda Yates Simpson. That is her mother.
I was going to say, I know those 2.
Do you know them too? Well,
I do.
They represent.
They're old horse pals.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they also, in addition to being horsewomen, they are the 2nd and 3rd generations of family members in that company.
Awesome.
It was formed by local folks back in 1924. It's now owned by the Resco Company out of Pittsburgh, but there are still local people that, of course, work there, and including some people from the original family, the Morgan family, that was one of the founders. And I believe there's a connection there with those 2 ladies there,
Okay.
generationally speaking. And so they will have, of course, a prime place in the parade. And so it's 2 honors for the Cedar Heights Clay Company. They'll be in the spotlight because of the festival, but this will also give the public and us here at the paper a chance to salute them for 100 years. We had a story, Jennifer, in our Wednesday paper that announced that they were the Grand Marshal and had some background information about their company. I've always known there's a Cedar Heights Clay Company in Oak Hill, but I really didn't know a whole lot about them.
Right.
But 100 years and still going strong.
Congrats, everybody.
They're in Oak Hill. So congratulations to them. And as far as the Festival of Flags royalty is concerned, there are 6 young ladies that will be competing for the new royalty positions. And that pageant is going to be 2 p.m. on Saturday. You're there from the main stage there in Etna Park. And we don't have their pictures here to show you, but we're going to go ahead and name the candidates. The candidate for Miss Festival of Flags, which is the oldest girl, is Jenna Holloway. The 2 candidates for Teen Miss are Bailey Antonero and Whitley Berry. The 2 candidates for Junior Miss are Lainey Parker and Hayden Ziner. And the candidate for Little Miss is Nevaeh Martin. So all that will take place 2 p.m. Saturday there on the stage, and then they will be crowned at 5:30 p.m. Sunday from the stage.
Very good.
And that will be after the grand parade there at 4 o'clock. Okay, we want to tell you some of the main entertainment that will be at the festival. I don't know whether they got into that
A
yesterday.
little bit, yeah.
Well, we've got some pictures to show you
Cool.
of some of the main entertainment there.
Yeah, we didn't get that far into it.
So let me get my information on that in front of me. Okay. All right, the entertainment, if you can put those up there, Hayden, I'll talk about them as you put them up. The Twilights will perform on, let's see, the Twilights will perform, see what day that they are here. They will perform on the first evening, Friday evening at 7:10 p.m. Twyla May and the Twilights. They do a lot of oldies music, and Twyla there is second from the left. She is got local connections
Okay.
from Oak Hill originally, and they have performed at Oak Hill for the Boosters 4th of July and at the Festival of Flags in the past.
Awesome.
So she will be back. They will be back to do oldies music. There's always a good market for oldies music because
yes,
some of
there
us are
is.
old. And besides, even some of the, if the young people would
sing-along
listen to that
songs.
music, I think they'd like it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and that would be
So that's
Jimmy Mowry.
Friday at 7:10. Okay, so Jimmy is Saturday.
Saturday at 6:30, and Jimmy Mowry was a contestant on The Voice. You know, that TV
Yeah.
that TV show music competition. You know, you see different shows on different networks, and this is from The Voice. Jimmy Mowry was in that competition, and he is now a professional, and so he will perform 6:30 p.m. on Friday from the main stage. And then the Smokin' Ham Band. Now, Red Thompson is a country music bluegrass connoisseur, and he has to work that day, and he is so sad he won't be able to see
Oh,
them.
no.
But it's on Sunday, and they will perform. I believe it's on Sunday.
Yep, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. on Sunday. The Smokin' Ham Band, and they do a lot of country music, kind of jazzy country music, and they were very popular, and they have brought them back this year. And then maybe the featured entertainment there on Saturday night will be Nashville recording artist Landray, and that is two young ladies who have combined their talents to form the group Landray.
Okay.
I don't think that they have performed locally before that I know of. I know that when the festival people contracted with them, they were very glad to get them.
Cool.
And so this is a couple of new faces that will perform there on Saturday night at 8 o'clock, the grand finale entertainment that night. And so the Festival of Flags does go through Monday. One of the things we want to mention as far as the Grand Parade is concerned, for folks who are unfamiliar with how that goes, it has always been late Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
It will kick off at 4 p.m. It will kick off from the old Oak Hill High School lot there on Western Avenue. If you want to be in the parade, you can be. It's open. They do
Okay.
like to know ahead of time who is going to be there, and you can fill out a form online at the Festival of Flags website if
Okay.
you would like to be in the parade. That allows them to plan, the lineup and all like that with everybody just not showing up unannounced. So if you can do that, try to do that. But the lineup will begin at 2:30, and participants must be in line by 3:45 p.m. And the parade route will start there at West Cross Street and Western Avenue, where the old Oak Hill High School used to be. And it will travel along West and then East Main Street to 4th Street, take a left on Washington Street, then back towards the middle of town on State Route 93 and Front Street, and end up there at the Festival of Flags grounds.
Yeah, it's always a fun parade.
Right, and of course the Cedar Heights Clay Company will be in there. I'm sure the Oak Hill Band will be in there, and it's always a very nice parade, a
Yes.
good-sized parade usually as well. All right, so we're 2-2, Jennifer. We have graduated two of our
Yes.
high school classes. Benton County and Oak Hill went last Friday. This Friday, it will be Jackson High School and Wellston High School. And Wellston High School will graduate at 7 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. I don't want anyone to be late. It will be indoors at the Wellston High School Gymnasium. And the valedictorians who are going to speak are Madison Potts, Ethan Jones, Logan Martin, and William Briggs. I know we introduced them earlier when we were here on TV, and of course, their pictures and profiles have been in the paper.
Yeah.
But once again, they will all speak at the Wellston High School graduation.
Awesome. Congratulations.
The Jackson High School graduation is scheduled for 8 p.m. on Friday, and it will be at Alumni Stadium, weather permitting.
Hayden, don't forget
Right.
to show up to graduation.
Okay, I think I think he knows.
Do you have all your stuff?
I'm ready, yeah.
You're ready?
Just waiting for 8 o'clock.
Got your little tassel? Did you decorate your hat thingy?
No, I don't think you're allowed to in high school. Or, like, not around here, at least.
Oh, you're not allowed to?
I don't think so.
They do it up at Vinton County.
I was gonna say that's no
If
fun.
they try to slip in something. They may see what the message is carefully, the school officials. But it's 8 p.m. for Jackson High School, and the advanced weather forecast does look good.
There you go.
There's a lot of advanced weather checking there by the school officials.
No Pete Wilson inside out umbrella pictures.
Well, you know what?
I
Considering
hope not.
what happened in 2021, it may be a rain or shine thing at the stadium because it's such a big crowd anyway, and Alumni Stadium is such a beautiful venue. That's where you want it to happen. You
Sure.
don't want to worry about
Oh, yeah.
being in a stuffy
Outside's
place
always
inside.
the best.
Even though the gymnasium is huge, still there is a capacity problem when you have that many
Not
people
the same.
coming. Exactly. So
Did we have a storm last night, by the way?
I don't.
Did I miss it?
I went to sleep pretty early, so if it stormed, I never heard it. It didn't
Well,
wake me up.
Same, but my patio furniture was turned over this morning, and I was like, "What
my.
happened?" Jamie's like, "I don't know." So
Well,
either something weird happened at our house, or there was a storm, and I don't know it. Anyway,
Well, there was a forecast for rain and perhaps thunderstorms, and if it happened, I didn't hear it.
well,
put it that way.
hopefully it got it out of its system, and all the graduations are good to go this weekend.
Exactly. Well, anyway, we do want to mention, we want to name the Jackson High School valedictorians who will all speak.
Sure.
And they are Eli Browerman, TJ Carpenter, Kylie Duncan, AJ Graham, Sydney Hughes, Riley Kilgore, Dane Neff, Abby Plants, Camden Robinson, Maddie Walburn, and Drew Wiley.
Yep.
And, those kids from Wellston, those kids from Jackson, we got their profiles, and man, what they have been able to achieve academically, and then their grand plans to continue their education is just
amazing.
so impressive. And so, they certainly deserve their time in the spotlight. And speaking of their time in the spotlight, the Telegram will continue its practice of doing expansive coverage of the high school graduations, and that's done with the support of some of our community sponsors.
Sure.
What that means, Jennifer, is, and folks who saw Wednesday's paper may have noticed, a 2-page spread on the Vinton County graduation. We will have a 2-page spread on the Oak Hill graduation in Saturday's paper. It's all prepared and ready to go. And then next week, we'll have the Jackson graduation in the Wednesday paper and the Wellston graduation in the Saturday paper. We do so much with so many pictures, takes so much work, and we want to spread the sponsorships out. We'd like to have just one in each paper.
Sure.
But we promise they will be coming in that order. So all that coming next week. So we'll be in person there at the graduation ceremonies covering those. All right. On the cultural front, we want to congratulate local songwriters Mike Morgan and Jeff Elliott.
Okay.
Because this was in the paper too last week, but they have done something very special. There is a gentleman who passed away just a couple of years ago named Ed Bruce, who was a big name in Nashville as a songwriter and even as a performer as well. I mean, he was big time.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people may not even know. They maybe know Mike Morgan and Jeff Elliott, but if they don't know them well, they probably don't know that they have written a lot of songs that have been recorded and published.
Yep.
Well, their latest thing, Mike and Jeff, is that they have put together and produced an album of Ed Bruce songs that are kind of like a posthumous tribute to Ed Bruce. Ed Bruce died, I think, in 2021. Jeff, Mike, and Ed Bruce were good friends. I think we have a picture there, Hayden, of them together, if you can find it. But what they did was Ed Bruce had a lot of songs that he wrote and that were recorded that well, they were published, but they were never put on an album together.
Okay.
He's had a lot of songs that have been on albums and like that, but this one is all songs that have not been recorded yet,
Okay.
even though he did them before. One of those songs is a song that actually Mike Morgan and Jeff Elliott wrote.
Awesome.
Right, and the name of the album is After Hours, and it is a 16-track album featuring some of Bruce's best previously unreleased songs, which were remixed from his own original recordings under the creative guidance of his two good friends and fellow songwriters, and they are, of course, Mike Morgan and Jeff
How
Elliott.
fun.
Right, and one of the songs that actually Mike Morgan and Jeff Elliott wrote is one of those songs of the 16 songs that are in the album.
Very cool.
One of
Find
the-
that picture? No.
I don't see it anywhere now.
Okay, well, one of the songs that he wrote, like Ed Bruce wrote, for those who aren't into country music, have you ever heard the Willie Nelson song "Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be
A
Cowboys"?
couple of times I've heard that.
Okay, recorded by both Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings. Ed Bruce wrote that song.
Wow.
And he wrote some other big name songs as well. And he also recorded some songs on his own. So it is really, really something that Jeff Elliott and Mike Morgan were entrusted with doing this. And it was Ed Bruce's wife, I think, that chose them to do this.
That is
and,
so awesome.
Not this week, but last week, I know that Jeff Elliott was down in Tennessee to help promote the release of this new album.
Yeah.
He was on Circle. It's called the Circle Network. I had not heard of it, but they do things from Nashville.
Okay.
And I don't know whether that's accessible here or not, but anyway, the album After Hours is available locally, or it will be at Michael's Ice Cream Store in Jackson.
Oh, awesome.
Jeff told me that they were going to try to, when this was released in the paper, try to make sure that there were some of those albums available for sale right there. You wouldn't have to go online or anything like that. You could go there and buy one
That's
there.
super cool.
So, check with Michael's Ice Cream Store to see if that's the case. But anyway, the song that Elliott and Morgan wrote that is on that 16 song album is "The Feel of Being Gone." The Feel of Being Gone.
Okay.
All right. Okay. What else can we talk about? We've got all this stuff coming up on Memorial Day. And we have already had some things that have happened, including the Armed Forces Day
Yes.
last Saturday. I know I mentioned that earlier in the week, but I wanted to promote the fact that we would have some coverage in the next paper on this. And it did turn out to be a big success. And this was one of the first public events for the new Jackson County Veteran Service Officer, Scott King. Scott is a veteran himself, was with the Special Forces, I think, in the Mideast not all that many years ago. He has worked for the city of Jackson since he retired from the military, and then he was working down at what we call the atomic plant
Yes.
in Pike County, and he came back to be the Jackson County Veteran Service Officer because I know it means so much to him, the veterans, and he will be replacing Arnold Tripp, who has been the longtime Jackson County Veteran Service Officer. I think that Arnold's official last day will be sometime next month.
Okay.
And so he deserves a lot of credit for what he has done. And Scott has been working with him in training kind of for the last several months. So we'll see some special coverage from Armed Forces Day in our next paper. All right. The Field of Heroes. With the Wellston Rotary Club. Did we have any guests on
We
that
did.
at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
I know that this is a picture that we used to promote the Field of Heroes ahead of time. And we did this because it was such a generous donation. That's Dorothy Riepenhoff in the middle. She is with the Wellston Rotary Club. They do the Field of Heroes.
Yes.
And Bruce Conley, who is with the Wellston American Legion, he is their commander. And that is Andrew Holzapfel, who is their finance officer. He's on the left. The American Legion supported the Field of Heroes to the tune of a $1,000 donation.
That's
So,
awesome.
It has turned out to be such a great success, the Field of Heroes, because it's a fundraiser for the Wellston Rotary Club, but it has been very
It's
popular.
so amazing.
People step up to do flag sponsorships at different levels. And what it does is they, for your sponsorship, they put a flag out,
Mhm.
and it is a continuous thing every year, as long as you keep the sponsorship alive. And it allows you to name one or I think two persons as your heroes. It can be military or it can be law
Just
enforcement.
whatever.
It can be a family hero or
Yeah.
whatever. But their name then is with that flag. You put all those flags together in those rows on that field of green where the Wellston High School used to be, and it is an impressive
It
sight.
is very impressive.
And it will be going up. I think they were getting the field ready yesterday, but it will be up today. It may already be there because tonight there will be an opening ceremony at 6 p.m. that we want to mention.
Love that.
And it will be very impressive. But at the opening ceremony tonight, Stacy Camp, who is the Wellston City Service Director and a veteran, he will speak. So will Bruce Conley, who is of course a veteran, and the Wellston American Legion Post Commander. Wellston Mayor Anthony Brenner, also a veteran, will read a proclamation from the city, and that will kind of kick off the Field of Heroes, which will continue into next Wednesday. So
Okay.
all the way through Memorial Day into the middle of the week before they will take that down. So if you're driving on Pennsylvania Avenue, which is also State Route 93 and State Route 327, it's the main drag through Wellston, you're going to be very impressed by that site, even
It's
if you don't stop.
Lovely.
Now, if you stop, which I recommend doing if you have any time at all, walk through those rows and see who those flags are dedicated to.
Yes.
There's going to be a couple special ceremonies there as well on Memorial Day, but their opening ceremony is tonight at 6 o'clock, and of course the public is welcome to attend.
Amazing site.
All right. Well, we want to mention about the Memorial Day activities coming up, and just a little bit about them because, of course, we won't be on TV on Monday, it being a holiday. So we want to let you know just a few details on there. In Jackson, there'll be a Memorial Day program at 11 o'clock at Jackson County Veterans Memorial Park, right there at the corner of Portsmouth and Main Streets. It'll be at 11 o'clock. The speaker this year will be Lydell Young, who is a veteran. Scott King, the new Veteran Service Officer, will be participating. Bob Bragg will be the MC. He is an Air Force retiree. I believe he's one of the commanders of the veterans organizations here. Of course, the Jackson High School Band will be there to do the patriotic music. And they'll do, of course, the wreath laying and all like that as well, too. Very nice ceremony. Takes about a half hour, 11 o'clock on Monday.
Very nice.
There's a lot of things on Memorial Day in Wellston as well. The American Legion Post 371, which is one of the top community organizations in Wellston. Man, they do so much. And of course, Memorial Day, a special day for them. It starts off with a parade at 10 o'clock that the Legion, and Peg Barber, I think, is the chair there.
Okay.
It will start off at 10 o'clock. If you want to be in that parade, you just show up a little early. She would like to get a call if you're going to be there. That way she can plan a little bit too, but it is open to anybody that wants to participate. You don't have to get permission or be invited, but it will begin assembling at 8:45 a.m. and they want everybody in line, about 10 minutes or 10, 15 minutes before the parade starts at 10, so it can be timely at 10 o'clock. But it will push off from the Legion there at 1001 South Pennsylvania Avenue, go north on Pennsylvania Avenue, and it will end up at Ridgewood Cemetery, which is on the other end of town, up on the hill there on the east side.
Yes.
And there, at approximately 11 o'clock, there will be a Veterans Day program that, once again, the Legion is in charge of. United States Marine veteran Brandon Witt will be the speaker. The Wellston High School Band will be in the parade as well as the program as well. I think the cheerleaders are always there. They have a huge American flag that they unfurl and they march and they display during the program,
so cool.
which is a very nice touch as well. I hope they do it because I just
now that you announced it, yes.
They've done it in past years. And then I think that at noon, the Legion will be at the Field of Heroes where they will play taps and do a 21-gun salute, and the Rotary Club members will then read the names of the heroes that had flags sponsored
Oh,
for them.
cool.
Many of them have been passed, of course. They will do that all at noon. That's the last main ceremony for the Field of Heroes. Also at noon, back at the Legion Post, just a little farther south on South Pennsylvania Avenue, they will have their big Memorial Day bean dinner. Very popular community event. It's just not for the Legion, it's for anybody. It starts at noon. They will serve beans and I suppose a few other things. Nominal cost. There is a cost, but it's very nominal. They're just trying to cover their costs.
Right.
It will go until 3 p.m. or they run out of beans.
There you go.
All right. In Vinton County, their traditional Memorial Day ceremonies will go on as well. It will be in MacArthur, the Veteran Service Officer and Tim Reed and the MacArthur Veterans of Foreign Wars Post, they will both be involved in that. They will gather at 9:20 a.m. in front of the courthouse, but it's kind of like organizational. That's where they get together.
Okay.
At 9:40 a.m., they will form a procession and head towards Elk Cemetery, which is on the north end of town. And that is where the Memorial Day program will take place at approximately 10 a.m. The Master of Ceremonies will be Tom Neal. The program speaker will be Vinton County Common Pleas Judge James Payne. Of course, he got appointed judge just last year, and he's been very active in the community. I know he will be the speaker. Then Judge Bob Grillo, officially known as N. Robert Grillo, a Jackson High School graduate. A lot of folks know him down here as well.
Yep.
He will read the casualty list, and he always feels very important about doing that because it names everybody from Vinton County through all the wars since Vinton County was formed who have been killed in action serving their country.
Wow.
And that's what Memorial Day is all about, of course. Then that will be the program in MacArthur. In Hamden, then, there will be a program. The Hamden Fire Department is doing that. It will start with a parade, line up at 11:30 a.m. at the intersection of State Route 93 and Wilcox Avenue. All those wishing to participate in the parade should arrive there by 11:30. It will take off shortly after that, and it will head south on State Route 93 to Hamden Cemetery. And Hamden Cemetery is where there will be a Memorial Day program as well. I'm not sure who the speaker will be there, but there will be a speaker and a short program as well. The Vinton County High School Band, under the direction of Sam Kugel, will be performing both at MacArthur and at Hamden as well.
Awesome.
So a lot of Memorial Day activities there. Also, do not forget, because Memorial Day is a holiday, all governmental agencies will be closed pretty much,
Right.
except the emergency ones, of course. And so, if you have, garbage service or anything like that, it's going to be a little bit different because of the holiday.
Yep. Just check with your local people.
Right, and a handy-dandy list has been published in the Telegram and is online there as well. And I think we posted it that free as a community service, so you can check that as well.
Good deal.
Okay, thinking of all the things that are going on the weekend, of course, we have the alumni activities. I know that we have activities, I believe, in at least 3 places that is local. In Jackson, the alumni program will involve several different things. It will actually start at 4:45 p.m. at the Jackson Middle School, the Jackson Middle School auditorium, with the Hall of Honor induction.
Mm-hmm.
3 people will be inducted into the Hall of Honor, one posthumously. The late Robert Bob Kite,
Yep.
who is having part of Bond Street, the part that, the hill that goes up to the high school, is going to be renamed in his honor with signage, the Robert Kite Memorial Drive, I think it's going to be called. But he, of course, passed away in January, served the district for 42 years, teacher, coach, assistant principal, athletic director.
Right.
and
all the things.
Right. And then school board member just before his death. It just wasn't his long service and all the things that he did. It was because of his work ethic. It was remarkable the amount of hours he put in and how conscientious he was about service and serving the high school and seeing that everything got done.
Hey, when I had Mr. Kite as a coach, he used to get up, or a coach, as a teacher, he used to get up at 4 a.m. every morning and run. Do you remember that?
Yes, somehow he worked that into his regimen when he was younger.
He said, "I only sleep 4 hours a night." I remember having this conversation with him. I was like, "Are you insane?" He's like, "It's just how I am.
Right. Well, he
Get up at 4 a.m. and
he,
run."
he had that
I was
kind of
like,
motor and that
"You
kind
go,
and
man."
that kind of will
Yeah.
and determination and,
Yeah.
and commitment to service. But after, in addition to the late Robert Bob Kite, Dr. Debbie Crabtree, who is a current Jackson administrator from the class of 1970 at Jackson High School, and pretty much she's been working at the Jackson City School since she graduated from Miami.
Yep.
Might have been some other stop right before that, but mostly at Jackson City Schools, a teacher, educator, principal at Southview Elementary at one time, and now the director of special projects, central office administrator for Jackson, and just completely dedicated to the schools, also in local service clubs as well. Glad to see her being inducted into the Jackson City Schools Hall of Honor. And also Jill Baldwin, retired teacher and considered a superwoman volunteer now since her retirement
Yep.
for the Jackson City Schools. She was a teacher at Southview towards the end of her career. And even after she retired, she came back, to sub, help in the schools. And from what I understand, even though they're badly in need of subs and they pay them more than they used to, she's not interested in taking any money.
Yeah.
So super.
Yep.
She is being
Really
honored
cool.
for that great spirit that she has to serve and put that above, any personal gain. So she will be the third honoree, and she happens to be Bob Kite's sister.
Yes.
So that'll be
Isn't that wild?
that'll be very special for the Kite family. That's at 4:45, and it's kind of its own thing, but it transitions right into the alumni program.
Right.
So some of the folks attending the alumni program will see the Hall of Honor first.
Very cool.
The alumni program is expected to start at about 5:30 p.m., also in the middle school auditorium. Mike Price will be the Toastmaster from the class of 1959. Carol Cosby Tiller will give the toast for the class of 1974. They, of course, are the 50-year class.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
They'll sit in the center section of the auditorium. I think they're going to have a great turnout. And then the other speaker that we haven't mentioned, I think we have a picture of her, Hayden, is Kelly Moore Whitry.
Mm-hmm.
She will do the toast for the class of 1984. That is the 40-year class. And Kelly is the daughter of Jimmy and Diane Moore, and a very well-known family here in Jackson. And she is one of our super grads that have gone out and made a great career and success of herself away from Jackson.
Sure.
Has worked for Procter & Gamble, now lives in Michigan, and is a kind of like an executive career consulting coach, has her own business there. That's kind of what in high stead she is held as far as her abilities. She's been very nice to deal with because I do the publicity for the alumni committee, and she is thrilled to come back and represent her class.
I remember her just because she graduated with my brother Jeff, and where there was a bit of an age difference between my brothers and I, everyone knew her as Kelly Jo Moore back then.
Yeah.
But she and some of the other girls of that class kind of like took me on as like their little sister too. And they were so kind, at ball games and things like that to help entertain the annoying little sister who was, shall I say, wanted to be part of the big kids, but wasn't a big kid. So yeah. So thanks to her for that, because I remember it.
Right. Well, she is a 29-year veteran of Procter & Gamble in Cincinnati and currently serves as the director of North American Sales. Does that sound important?
That sounds important to me.
And before that, she spent 10 years each in IT and design with Procter & Gamble. Now she is a coach and entrepreneur owning her own executive and life transitions coaching and consulting practice called Wave Solutions. I mentioned that generically, but that's what it's called. In this role, she partners with both individuals and groups to identify and achieve their full potential to make waves or survive the waves in their personal and professional lives. Sounds like she can give some good advice to the pros. But anyway, she will be there to speak along with Carol Cosby Tiller and Mike Price. And I know that they always have a nice program there. They will recognize, all the classes along the way during the alumni. And so that's at 5:30. That is free, open to any alumni from Jackson High School and to any member of the public as well. We always get a good crowd for that.
Oh, yes.
After the alumni program is over, starting at about 7:30 p.m., the happening after party will take place at the Parks Edge Event Center.
Mhm.
Once again, this is for Jackson High School alumni and their guests, but it is open to anybody. You don't have to be an alumni to go. And this is the one-stop place you can go to see people from all the graduating classes that
Which
care to
is
go. And
really
it's a nice
cool.
party as well.
Yeah.
It really is. You have food and music and a lot of social time there. And that is a nice event that starts at 7:30 p.m. You were supposed to get tickets in advance. If you haven't got tickets yet, the best thing that I can tell you to do, because I know we're just a couple days away, is to call Vicki Howell Williams at
Mhm.
740. I'm going to repeat this number twice: 740-418-2117. They were trying to hold some tickets back for late buyers,
Okay.
and there may or may not be tickets at the door. I'm going to dissuade you from counting on that.
Yeah. It's always pretty busy.
If too many people do that, it won't work.
Yeah.
So the tickets cost $25 each, and once again, should be purchased in advance. So if you haven't done that, call 740-418-2117 and talk to Vicki Howell Williams. And being on the alumni committee, I know that we were getting a big turnout this year. We were a little bit surprised that we've got the response that we have, because last year we had 4 classes because we had all those cancellations due
Yeah.
to COVID,
Right.
but they're coming back again this year.
Awesome.
So it'll be a wonderful party. Okay, same type of situation happening in Wellston with their alumni. Of course, our good friend and former colleague John Pelletier
Mhm.
is the Wellston alumni president, and I think he is for life. By the
Yeah,
way,
I
in that
don't think
position.
they'll let him retire.
Right.
So
Yeah, he is. He is. I don't think they even bothered to name a vice president anymore. They probably should have one just in case. But the speaker for their alumni program will be Jack Jenkins. He is from the class of 1974. The tradition at Wellston High School and their alumni is to always have a member of the 50-year class be the Toastmaster. He will speak and make introductions and kind of run the show along with John. But it is kind of like a multi-part thing. By the way, it will take place. It will take place at Wellston High School. It will all start with a dinner buffet and social hour at 5 p.m. The dinner buffet will include prime rib, turkey breast, shrimp cocktail, beef Wellington bites, coconut chicken, stuffed mushroom, bacon wrapped chestnuts, fruits, veggies, and a full salad and dessert bar.
do you think we
And-
could sneak in and get that?
And they're pretty tight on that, but can you believe it's a $25
No,
ticket?
that is insane.
Right, and so it's the 134th annual Wellston Alumni
Crazy
Banquet.
They do that.
Tickets are available at Caleb's Sports and Trophies on South Ohio Avenue in Wellston. Once again, I would encourage you to get a ticket in advance. I've not been told that they're out, and it's a pretty big place, but I know that obviously when you're planning a meal like that, that's Tina King and the King of Catering that are
Well, you
doing that.
figure out how we can sneak in there.
Right.
Pete.
Well, that would be nice. And speaking of Tina King and the King of Catering, I want to mention her because being with the Jackson alumni, I know that she does a good job when she serves Jackson alumni.
Sure.
She is servicing Jackson alumni and Wellston alumni
I
in
know,
the same
all at
night.
the same time.
In the same night. She'll be both places. And I know this, I guarantee she will be sleeping well that
I'd
night
say
when
so.
all that is over. But anyway, both of the big alumni are on Saturday night. And I know that the Wilton alumni, which is the old high school that served the Wilkesville area, they are having an event near Logan.
Cool.
Right, they're having a dinner at one of the restaurants up there as well.
Nice.
So, and I know that there's other alumni and many individual class reunions that are taking place that I don't know about. It's just kind of like a party weekend, a coming home type weekend situation.
Yes.
All right, we want to salute one of those Jackson High School valedictorians for a very special scholarship she received, and that is Abby Plants.
Okay.
Abby recently received the AMP Public Power Scholarship. Now, there's a
Okay.
lot of great scholarships that are awarded at
Yes.
by our local high schools, but this is a $3,000 one, and it comes from AMP Ohio, and that is the electric cooperative that represents the city of Jackson, because the city of Jackson does it does its own electric system,
Yes.
and it is part of this cooperative that covers many cities and municipalities in Ohio that have their own electric system. And so that made Abby eligible because her mother, Tracy Plants, is an executive assistant in the administration
Yes.
of Mayor Randy Evans. But Abby, in addition to being the daughter of a Jackson City employee, which makes her eligible, she also is very smart and talented, and she competed with other AMP Ohio students, or AMP Ohio Connected Ohio students, and she was one of the ones
is
in the
awesome.
handful of Ohio to win this scholarship. This picture I took at a recent Jackson City Council meeting, the last Jackson City Council meeting. That's when the AMP Ohio folks came down to actually
Aw,
present the scholarship.
Love that.
And so on the left there, you have Matt and Tracy Plants, Abby's parents. Then you have Abby holding the certificate that shows she won the scholarship. You have Mayor Randy Evans. You have Mr. Phillips. I cannot remember his first name, but he represents AMP Ohio. He came down from Columbus. And on the far right is David Swackhammer, the city service director. And I only picked this one out. There's many scholarships we're going to try to publicize, and we'll try to run as many lists as we can. But this was a $3,000 scholarship that you had to compete statewide to win. So congratulations to her. All
That's
right.
awesome.
Up at Vinton County, last Saturday, they had a very successful bicycle rodeo. The Vinton County Health Department does a lot of outreach things in the community. And you can tell by this picture, they had a few people come out. It
Yeah.
was last Saturday at the Vinton County High School parking lot. And it was, you had a chance to win a free bike, get a bike helmet. For any kid from the time they were born up to 18 years of old, you had a chance to win a free bike, also get a bike helmet, and learn things about bicycle safety.
That's so
And
cool.
this was actually the Help Me Grow agency
I
that is
want one
within.
of those Flintstone car things.
Oh yeah, well that
You
was
think
that,
we'd fit in there?
that was nice too. It was a fun event too there that the Vinton County Health Department did. All right, because of the holiday, one other thing we want to tell you about: Jackson City Council would normally meet on Monday.
Okay.
Well, it's Memorial Day, and
Sure.
they decided they're going to take the day off. You can't blame that.
Hey,
So
A-okay
there
with
will
me.
be no second council meeting for the month of May. They didn't reschedule it or have a special meeting. The next meeting for Jackson City Council will be on Monday, June 13th. And at that meeting, by the way, they will be voting on the third and final readings on whether to put the city income tax back on the ballot in November, which I expect them to do because they feel that it's been so beneficial to the city. All right, we'll go to sports now. And this was about the only thing in everything I've reported that's not good. Our Jackson Ironmen were defeated finally in tournament play last night.
No.
That is the Jackson High School baseball team. They deserve for me to talk about them and for us to show you their picture because they still had one of the best seasons in Jackson High School history. First of all, I dutifully have to tell you that they lost the game 3-1 to Washington Courthouse last night. That game was played over at Bob Wren Stadium on the campus of Ohio University.
Fun venue to play.
Right, it was. Jackson led 1-0 going into the sixth inning, but Washington Courthouse pushed across 3 runs in the sixth inning, and they were able to hold off Jackson and win that game 3-1. A tough luck loss for the Ironmen, but once again, they went all the way to the district championship game. This team finished 23-5. I'm not sure there is a record book for Jackson High School baseball for us to verify, but I've been around for a while.
A couple of years.
They play more games than they used to, just the way it is. And they won 23. So they may have won more games than any other team in school history. I said may. And their record was certainly one of the best in school history as well. They won 17 games in a row, which likely is a school record.
I would say.
They run the Frontier Athletic Conference Championship without losing a game, going 10-0. So congratulations. And Coach Josh McGraw, by the way, late in the season, won his 200th career game.
Very
Many
cool.
of those at Jackson High School. So congratulations to the Jackson High School baseball team for their great season. Speaking of tournament baseball, we have one team that's left standing, and it's the Wellston High School baseball team.
Okay.
And that is a picture of the Wellston High School baseball team taken earlier in the season as their team picture for preseason publicity. Coach Morgan Stevens is the head coach. They will be playing in the district tournament semifinal game for Division III. Jackson is Division II. And this will be a first-round game in the district. Wellston won its sectional championship last Thursday by beating Portsmouth West 2-1. So that earned them the right to go to the district semifinals. It will be at the VA Memorial Stadium. That's where the Chillicothe
Another
Pigs
fun
play.
venue to play.
4
Yeah.
p.m. Our own Todd Compton will be there. Red Thompson might be there along with him to take pictures. But Wellston has a 14-9-1 record, finished second place in the TVC Ohio division. They will have a tough foe, though. The Wheelersburg Pirates, who are the top-seeded team in Division III, they have a 23-2 record. So Wellston will be the underdog, but they have the opportunity before them. And let me tell you this, in Division II, where Jackson plays, there have been a bunch of upsets.
Yes.
You know, a team may have had a wonderful record. They may be a favorite. They may be viewed as the team likely to win. Doesn't always happen, especially in baseball. It seems like there's a lot of upsets. So good luck to the Wellston Golden Rockets tonight
All
as
right.
they take on the Wheelersburg Pirates
Go
in
get
that
'em,
district
guys.
semifinal game. All right, and that's at VA Memorial Stadium at 4 o'clock. Speaking of sports, since we're on sports, we want to salute one of those Jackson High School valedictorians for her success on sports, and that is T.J. Carpenter.
Yes.
T.J. Carpenter recently signed her intent to play college basketball and attend as a student, of course, Marietta College,
Very cool.
which is about an hour and a half away. And I say that because it's relevant. She had chances to go other places because she is an outstanding basketball
Sure.
player, as we know from covering the girls' basketball team. She had the chance to go to several other places. Some of those were Bluffton, Ohio, and Ohio Northern, but she ended up choosing Marietta because it's closer to home. The reason that she wanted to do that wasn't because necessarily she's going to be homesick or anything, even though she may have been, I don't know. But what's going on is she wants her family to be able to attend as many games as possible. That would be better for them.
Makes sense.
Also, she has a younger sister who is in this picture, Sydney. And Sydney is going to be a junior on the Jackson High School basketball team. And her dad, Chad, who was an assistant coach this past year, is now the
Yes.
head coach. So whenever she can, she might want to come back and see them
Right.
play.
That
So
makes sense.
it won't be such a long trip either way for the
Yeah.
Carpenters. So all TJ did this year, of course, she was the Frontier Athletic Conference Player of the Year for the second year in a row. She was one of those 4 seniors who started for 4 years for Jackson. 3 of those years, they won the FAC championship.
Yep.
The past 2 years, undefeated in
Yes.
conference play. They won what's called the gold ball. But TJ individually, all she did was she had 1,290 points. Anytime you go over 1,000 points, that's considered historic. She had 601 rebounds, very good at that too. This past season, on a team where you had multiple talented people, she didn't have to do everything. 18 points a game, 6.4 rebounds a game. And as we said, she was the Frontier Athletic Conference Player of the Game. She was on the All-District team, and she was an honorable mention selection on the All-Ohio team. And just a real nice young lady as well. I interviewed her on tape on the night of her signing. Just this past Wednesday, Todd Compton listened to that interview, which she did a wonderful job on, and that was the basis for a story about her signing and just about her and her thoughts about her high school career and then playing at college as well.
Awesome.
So congratulations to TJ Carpenter. I know we're going to have upcoming stories coming in the sports section as we get time to do them on some other young folks who have signed to play college. Madison Potts who has been an outstanding athlete at Wellston High School, most recently on their great girls softball
Yes.
team. She's going to play softball in Michigan, so we'll have a story on that. And Garrett McInnes down at Oak Hill, that's the son of Heath McInnes, the head basketball coach down there. Garrett played, he was a three-sports man. He played football, he played basketball for his dad, and then most recently, and still competing in track and field, he went to the state track meet last year in the 400 meters, and he's still alive in the regional tournament, this week.
Nice.
Right, and he made the decision to run track and field at Shawnee State University.
Perfect.
And so that was a signing ceremony at Oak Hill High School that
Cool.
we'll be reporting on as well. One other thing, that I want to talk about is the Colton Historical Society. I wasn't sure we'd have time for this, but we have just a few minutes.
Sure.
But it has kind of been inactive in recent years. But the Colton Historical Society has a long history in Jackson County and Colton. It's just not a little Colton group. They were kind of one of the more active historical societies in the county in the past. And one of their main projects is, of course, taking care of the James A. Rhodes birthplace, which is in Colton. Lest we forget that one of Ohio's most famous governors was born in Colton, and I think his family lived in Jackson in the early years. Of course, they moved on and went different places. He became the mayor of Columbus. He was the state auditor. Then he was governor at different times. He never forgot his Jackson County roots.
Absolutely.
Never, ever. And of course, we have, the Rhodes, James A. Rhodes Memorial there by the courthouse, which is very nice. That's going renovation, by the way. They're doing some maintenance work there, but that will be back better than ever after that is done. But Greg Shook, who lives in Colton, has been very community-minded, especially on the historical stuff. He is the new president of the Colton Historical Society, and he's doing his best to get it active again. And they are trying to increase their membership, and the proposed donation is $10 for individuals or $15 for families. That's nominal, but that will help them. They need membership, they need boots on the ground, they need some money, and they want to have an annual meeting, and they've decided to put that off until the fall sometime. But at that meeting, which will probably be in the fall, it will be announced. But in the meantime, if you'd like to be a member of the Colton Historical Society or make a donation, you can call him at 740-418-7013. It is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. To some folks who make donations, that makes a difference because that means your donation is tax deductible. You can give it to them instead of Uncle Sam.
There you go.
That's kind of how it works.
Woohoo.
That's a little oversimplified, but that's kind of how it works. So Jennifer, obviously, next Wednesday's paper is going to be loaded with some special coverage from all the stuff that's happening this weekend. So we've all got to stay healthy in the news department. But of course, we will have coverage of the Jackson High School graduation, which will happen on Friday night. We'll have some of the Memorial Day activities, which is on Monday. Not all probably, but some. And then we'll get the rest of it later in the next paper. Of course, we'll have some coverage from the Field of Heroes. We'll have lots of pictures from the Festival of Flags in Oak Hill. And so all this coming this weekend, we'll be covering live the alumni ceremonies in both Jackson and Wellston. And so
lots of amazing things going on.
Very, very busy time. I know that the radio guys will be out doing remotes as well. I did memorize their schedule. I have enough of my own things to do. But I'm sure that they'll be doing remote broadcasts from the Festival of Flags and the Feast of the Flowering Moon in Chillicothe.
Which is a whole other situation.
So we will say that we've done all that we can, and we'll get back on our horse, and it will be a full gallop.
It definitely is galloping in to the Memorial Day weekend and not stopping, ever.
But we always remind ourselves, good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. Lots and lots of amazing things.
And the people, and as you're enjoying all these activities, think of all the people that are working hard to make them happen behind you. Sometimes you take that for granted.
Tell them you appreciate them.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, Pete, thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. And we will be right back here tomorrow with our friends from, I believe, Search and Sam and the gang. So we'll see what they have to talk about. It's always fun to have them here. So we'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegramnews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegramnews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
thetelegramnews.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegramnews.com.
Check it out.